Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am hopping on here live. I don't know if you've seen my post on my Facebook page or in my group, but this live video is going to be all about my 3 pillars in helping you find balance in a busy life. So I guess I can wait a couple seconds for some people to hop on so they can get the whole scoop. If you're watching, let me know, say hello. And yeah, we're gonna get into those goodies today. Those 3 main, hi Josh, hey. How are you doing with booking those flights? How's everything going? I wanna hear from you. But all right, well, I guess as we wait for a few more people to join, I can go ahead and start. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Jamie Zwier, and I'm a holistic health coach, and I work with the overworked, overwhelmed, and occasionally unhealthy woman and man in Josh's occasion to find health and balance in all different areas of their life. So let's see, Josh. Good, thanks. Have one flight. Oh, good. Good job on the one flight. Hey, Charlotte. Hi, girl. So let's just dive right in. For those of you who do not know, I used to be a primary school teacher, so I have that background in working with kids. So I also, in addition to working with women and showing them how to find balance in a busy life, I work with kids and show them what being healthy, holistically healthy means. So it's more than just what you're eating. It is about being a nice sibling, a good student, and being friendly to people and taking care of your body. So my holistic mentality spreads across many different platforms. So that's just a little bit about me. And I'm going through my notes here. I just want to make sure I hit everything. And but I kind of want to hear from you guys. So as busy women, as busy caretakers, as you guys have a lot going on. So how do you find balance? Like, what are some things that you do to kind of make it through the week and not feel like a chicken with its head cut off and just trying to manage everything? And so, if you want to pop in and let me know what some things are that you do to kind of help you remain sane and get all that you need to get done, or maybe you don't get everything you need to get done, and maybe that's why you're here, because you want to hear from me, right? Some tips and tactics as to how to help you get those things done that you need. But if you want to pop in and let me know, I'm happy to hear them and see what you have to say. Josh, you said making things as simple as possible and convenient. Simple and convenient as possible. Yes. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's not about overcomplicating things. It's not about thinking too much about things, because when that happens, it's of course gets overwhelming and frustrating because you're thinking so specifically about something. So if you just kind of go with the flow, the universe always has your back. Whatever it is you believe in is always looking out for the best in you. So when you just kind of let off the gas so much and just kind of let things flow, it does flow easily. And listening to your podcast. Oh, thank you. I have my microphone on. So if this records well, then it might be an episode, but I was testing it out and it sounds like there's a huge echo in this room. I usually don't do my podcast in this room. I think because there's no carpet on the floor, but we'll see how it goes. So if it sounds well, then I will use it for the podcast. So you might get featured. So for the rest of you, those of you who are popping on, what are some things that you do to help you find balance in your everyday life? But yeah, so anyway, my intention is always to have you walk out with anything that you listen of mine, or with any post that you read. I want you to walk out and away with it with an action plan. So it's not like, okay, great, that was an awesome tip. Now, how do I incorporate that when I have 1,000,001 things going on? So that's really what these tips that I'm going to share with you they're practical, and they're things that you can walk away with, and they're tangible, because I'm all about setting those small sustainable goals and those small sustainable actions. It's not about doing everything at once. It's just about doing a little bit at a time and then growing from there. So I want you to walk away after, listening to this and hearing these tips and hear what my pillars are, so that you can walk away with one thing. Maybe it's one thing that you learned that you can incorporate. And for those of you who work with me, know this is one of the things that I use. So this is called the Circle of Life, and I got this idea from the school that I attended, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And this really is what holistic health is to me. On this worksheet here, it has spirituality, creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical fitness, home cooking, home environment, relationships, social life, and joy. So as you can see, it's not just having health is just eating well and exercising. Like, there's so much more to that, and all of these different factors really influence what goes in your mouth and what you're eating, and it's things that you might not even think about. So if you walk in your house after a super long stressful day and you see clothes hanging on the banister and it just like sets you through the roof, and you either start an argument with your spouse, or you keep it internal and you rush to the fridge and stress eat. So all these different factors play a huge role in your ultimate health and overall well-being. So this is one thing that I use. It's called the Circle of Life, and it's just one tactic that I show you as to how to create ultimate balance in your life. So we're still going to get to the 3 pillars, but this is just one of the things that I use. So does anyone want to share their thoughts about that? Maybe where they fall on one of those areas? Like, do you think that, I can show it to you again, do you think that one of these areas you're neglecting? Is it your creative side? Do you feel like you're really being pulled to playing the guitar or painting? Or is it the career portion and you're not really fulfilled in your job, and you probably should find something else to do, but you feel safe and comfortable there? Or is it with relationships? Or is it with your eating or physical fitness? So if you feel comfortable to share, let me know. And so that is just one aspect of finding balance in your life. And let us move on. So anyway, that is one aspect to find balance. And then another aspect of it is, I see it as another pie chart, and it's about fitting all of the things that you need to do in one day on one pie chart. So my view of balance, and some people don't believe in balance, and that's completely fine. But my view of balance is not that everything is going to be perfectly in order. It's not going to be 25% children. It's not going to be 25% work. It's not going to be 25% taking care of the house, 25% spouse. Like, chances are it's going to be 90% work, 9% getting fast food, 1% you. So finding balance to me is not having everything perfectly in order, because that's just unrealistic. Those are unrealistic goals to strive for, and it's not fair to you, because you finish your day not feeling very good about yourself. So the goal was to really just try to do the best that you can, and if your day looks like it was 90% work that day and 1% you, then that's okay. So we just adjust accordingly the next day, and then you can see what went well, what didn't go well, and how can it go better for tomorrow. And that is what balance means to me. So I would love to hear from you. If you have different opinions or viewpoints on that, let me know, because I know that the art of balance can be a conflicting topic. So I would love to hear your point of view, where you fall with that, or if you agree. So anyway, the 3 pillars, and I envision my 3 pillars, they are the basis of holding all of those different areas on your circle of life, and then all of those different areas that you need to complete in a day on one plate. I almost envision it like a plate here. And these 3 pillars that I offer hold up the plate. So if one falls, the things in your life, those things that you're trying to keep in balance, fall. But if they're all remain stable and steady, then the plate stays upright. So you kind of want to keep these 3 pillars in order and take care of them and nurture them. So, does anyone want to guess what any of my pillars are? So anyway, my 3 pillars. The first one is self-respect. So self-respect is the first pillar, and I know you've heard me talk about this before, this is the cornerstone. This is why I'm a holistic health coach, is because I talk about food all the time, and that's because it's a main portion of self-respect. It's the emphasis and the basis behind self-respect. When you feed your body good food, then you are treating yourself with amazing self-respect. When you got it, Josh, self-respect. So nutrition is everything. And that's why you hear me talk about, food so much. So food is the cornerstone to finding balance in a busy life. And when you eat well, you are fueling your body, you're finding energy, you're able to sleep better, you're able to show up better, you're able to be in a better mood, you're not moody and grouchy and sleepy from eating, fast food or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever it is that you eat. You're not fueling yourself with caffeine, over-caffeinating yourself. You're really treating your body with respect. You're tuning in and you're giving it what it needs. So, and I talk about being healthy, right? And you may think, okay, well, what is healthy? I eat keto or I eat low fat. I'm doing my body good, right? And this can be misleading because being healthy is such a general term and we don't always know what it means. So my view on healthy, I can't speak for you or what works for you, because if one thing works for you, then that is amazing. But again, like I talked about initially, is trying to make this very simple and bringing this down to very basic terms. And this is the same thing that I teach to the little guys that I talk to, is that being healthy and healthy foods are just foods that come from nature. You want to avoid all of those foods in the center of the grocery store that say high fat or, high fiber, low fat, high protein, low sugar. It's like, give it a rest. Give it a rest. Please give it a rest. Because if you just eat the fruits, the veggies, the whole grains, the organic meats, the organic dairy, the just the foods that come from the earth, then you're automatically getting high fiber, you're automatically getting your high protein, you're automatically getting low sugar, you're automatically getting all of this stuff that these these claims are trying to get you to buy. And then, these other diets, which are a way of eating those foods that I'm talking about, like that are like a keto diet, for example. And it's just another diet. So the chances of you staying on a keto diet for the remainder of your life, I mean, if you think that you can do it for the remainder of your life, then fine. But if you see it just as a phase, then it's just going to be a phase. And it's going to be something that your body's going to have to rebound from and adjust to. So if you just stick to eating the foods that come from nature and eating a variety of them. I'm not saying eat all fruits or all veggies or all whole grains or all dairy or only meat. Like, that's not the answer. And people look for solutions, and it's just, so again, it's a diet, and I can go on and on about that. And I do believe that some of those diets do work for some people. If you have, a health condition or you're suffering with a certain illness, I get it. Those diets do benefit. That's why they are around and they do work for some people. But we're just bringing everything back down to basics here. So self-respect is eating well, and you're just going to want to consume, eat the rainbow. You're going to eat minimally processed and foods that come from nature, and wild caught organic when possible. And it doesn't have to be, this is my thing as well, this is why I put that cookbook together for everyone, is that it doesn't have to be overwhelming or stressful or time consuming or restrictive or tasteless at all. It is just the opposite, and I promise you that. I mean, I try to debunk these myths all the time with my grocery hauls, and I show you, my husband and I don't spend a lot of money on groceries. We spend maybe $150 at the most. Like, that's actually a really expensive week if we shop if we spend $150 at the grocery store. And I try to show you guys what it is I'm making and how it doesn't have to be a bro meal, like I like to call it. It doesn't have to be the boiled chicken and the boiled broccoli and the unseasoned rice as a lunch or dinner. It's not that way at all. And I'm gonna do a separate video about the create your own perfect lunch that I put together in the cookbook as a way where you can take those healthy ingredients and make your own perfect lunch with it. So you don't have to use my favorite things, but you can make your own. So yes, and then so another part of self-respect is drinking enough water. You want to make sure that you drink about half of your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you're going to want to drink 100 ounces of water a day. And that's just a general aim, which you're going to try to strive for. And it's different from drinking 8 cups of water, because who's 8 cups of water for? Is it for, a 95-pound woman or a 250-pound man? So it's back to the holistic aspect and how everyone is unique and individual. So it's just about drinking. It's drinking what's right for you. So drink about half of your body weight in ounces of water. And if you experience headaches or fatigue or low energy or just feeling like I used to say that I felt weird as a kid, like it was just like this weird feeling that I felt, and those are all symptoms of being dehydrated or just not getting enough water. So make sure that you're getting your water in. And a fun little tip is, if you have a water bottle, you're gonna want to like mark it with the hours of the day. If you're not a water drinker at all, you want to mark it with the hours of the day. And so, for example, you want to drink the whole thing by noon, and you want to drink 2 of them. So you're going to mark it like, okay, drink this much by 9 a.m., drink this much by 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1, 2, and refill. And then, so it's just like a visual thing for visual learners. And so after drinking enough water, part of my second pillar is getting enough sleep. So who gets enough sleep? Who's guilty of not going to bed when they know that they should, because they know that they're just going to wake up feeling tired in the morning? So who's a good sleeper? Raise your hand if you're a good sleeper. Thanks, Josh. But anyway, you want to aim for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And if that is difficult for you, just start from where you are to where you want to be. So if you're right now getting only 6 hours of sleep a night, and then you want to strive for 6.5 or 7, just start small. You don't have to get your full 8 hours if you're starting small. So do what you can with what you have. Set a cool down reminder or a wind down reminder at night so that you can remind yourself to go to sleep, because if you don't check the timer, you don't have something reminding you, it will be 11 p.m. before you know it, and you're like, where the heck did that time go? So set a reminder, set a second reminder, because you're probably going to ignore the first reminder, to get some rest. So practice breathing in, slow breathing, use your essential oils. Lavender and lemongrass are great for rest. In addition to, so we talked about eating well, drinking enough water, getting good sleep, and now you want to exercise. So exercise is an excellent form of self-care. It is very important to sweat and let those toxins out. And I find that when you swap your mentality around working out, so for example, most of us go to the gym because we feel like we want to work out so that we can change the way we look, because we don't like the way we look. But if you just swap that mentality and say, you know what, I'm going to work out because I'm happy with because I want to improve upon the way I look, and I want to feel better in my skin, and I want to do good for my body, then it changes the game a bit. Then you're at the gym, and instead of feeling that restriction, that restrictive feeling about going, it's like, okay, I want to boost my immune system. I want to get rid of these toxins. I want to start feeling a little bit better. I want to do something good for my body because my body has done so much for me. It's, my legs take me everywhere. If you had children, it's grown a child. Your cells are constantly replenishing. Your hair is always growing. Your nails are always growing. So your body always has your back. So try to have your body's back. So okay, and I have an actual separate podcast on this, talking all about how to find the motivation to work out if you don't have it. So tune into that podcast. I believe it's podcast number, what podcast number is it? Where is it? Workout. Episode number 6. Okay. So part of self-respect, this one pillar, we're still in pillar number 1, is self-care. Now, self-care, I know, it sounds super boring. I don't know why, but it even sounds boring to me. Self-care is just like, who has the time? Who has the energy? Who has, the money to take care of yourself? Who does that? But I promise you, and after you do it for a little bit, you're like, okay, I get it. Because you're so wound up, you're so busy, you have so many things going on, you have so much going on that when you think of the idea of slowing down so you can take a bath, you're like, oh, hell no. That is not happening. But I promise you, the act of doing that, it allows things to flow easier to you. You have ideas, ideas to maybe make your life run smoother. It just presses the reset button. And I know you're not going to believe me until you actually try it and do it for yourself. But self-care does not have to be an hour-and-a-half massage every week. Start small, take a exfoliant facial in the shower with you. So take an extra minute on yourself, put lotion on, have a cup of tea, walk around the block, do something nice for yourself. And I promise you, you'll notice the benefits of self-care. And even for myself, I think it was Charlotte who was asking me about my nails, and I never get my nails done. I don't know why, I just always do them myself. But I went and I got a pedicure and I got my nails done, and I got I just felt, you just feel so much better. So when you oh my God, Josh, thank you so much for sharing that podcast. Yes, that is the episode right there. So, and I just want you to think of that person that you want to be. So that person that you're striving to be, that balanced woman, that balanced man, that balanced person, what is it that they're doing? Are they taking care of themselves weekly, monthly? Are they getting their nails done? Are they taking baths? Are they getting 7 hours of sleep? Eating well and exercising can be a form of self-care also. So raise your hand if you take care of yourself, or do you strive to take better care of yourself? Let me know. I'm talking a lot, I'm thirsty. Who's taking care of themselves? Let me know. All right, so in addition to those tips that I already went over, another part of self-respect under our first pillar is having, Josh, you strive, good job, having healthy relationships. Okay, so on average, you become the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So take a second and think about this. Who do you spend the most time with? Is it your coworker at work? Is it your spouse? Is it who are you spending time with? Your friends? Are you connecting with people online? And so keep that in mind. And if those people are kind of, low energy people that you don't strive to be like, people that you don't really admire, you don't have to want to be like them, but are they good people? So just take a note of that, and you want to surround yourself with people that you really admire and look up to and strive to be like, because on average you turn into these people. So take a second to think about that and examine who it is you have in your life. I'm not saying that you have to ditch your friends, that you have to ditch people that you're not completely head over heels about, but just keep your distance, keep your boundaries, these people have a tendency to drag you into some of their drama or drag you into some of the things that, you know, they're into, but you're like, well, I have nothing better to do. So just take a note of that. Examine your friends, your family, your coworkers, your spouse, just a general eye on them. You want to protect your energy, you want to protect your mood, you want to protect your time, because again, you're busy, you have a lot going on, you don't really have time to waste, right? You want to spend it productively, you want to have fun with people, you want to spend quality time with people, but you don't want to necessarily waste your time with people you know are not in alignment with you. And if you don't have people personally to hang around with, go online, go on Facebook groups. There's a million different Facebook groups, and you can connect, you can make virtual relationships with people. So relationships, and you want to manage stress also. So stress is, it's a real thing. It manifests in your body. I mean, stress can cause heart attacks. Like, it's that real of a thing. Like, so you want to just take a deep breath. Like, if you're sitting there, most of us only actually breathe right into our chest, and you want to breathe all the way into your belly. So just take a moment to take some few deep breaths all the way into your belly, and that is a huge stress reliever. You just want to take a minute to just roll your shoulders. If you're at work and you're like sitting crunched over at the desk all day, you want to, go to the bathroom, take a few breaks, and just let out some of that stress and that exhaustion. When you get home, you can journal. I'm a huge fan of journaling. Journaling, it works wonders, I swear. It's not always, again, these things are not like, who would rather journal than just sit down and crash in front of the TV or, do something else that doesn't take any energy. But these are ways that you're able to break through on the other side of that stress, of that unhappiness, of that overwhelmed feeling. These are ways that you are going to be able to break through. So it might take a little energy at first, but I promise you it's so worth it. There are times when I journal and I'm like, I am so frustrated with this and this and this, and then I say it and I write it and I'm like, what the heck? I was really upset about that, or that's so silly, or I'm able to see the other person's point of view, or I'm able to see and navigate a way through it or around it. Like I was saying, when you just take that time, when you take a little bit of time, you're able to see the other person's point of view, and things are able to work a little bit more in your favor. So, and just trust that process. You don't want that stress to build up. So another form of self-respect, we're nearing the end of the self-respect pillar, so don't worry if I'm going long on this one. So self-respect is a big one though, so this is the longest, this is the biggest pillar. But another form of self-respect is practicing using your voice. This is one of my favorite ones because most of us don't use our voice. We don't know how to use our voice. We've been told to really just keep that to yourself. But there's nothing wrong with saying what you feel, how you feel, saying yes to things that you want to do or no to things that you don't want to do, and not being afraid to do so. And this is a really great one. I dive into this, I believe, in another podcast. And yeah, you don't want to let fear run the show, and you want to have boundaries around what you say yes to or what you say no to, because we're going to get into that in just a second in the second pillar. But you want to have strong boundaries, and using your voice is the first way of being able to kind of establish that. So our second pillar here is time management. And time management is everything, right? Tell me, who is good with their time management and who can use help with their time management? Time management is a huge one for us busy people. Well, actually, I'm going to talk in another video about the word busy, because I want to use a different term, a term that doesn't sound so, I want maybe a full life. Us with a full life. How do you focus on time management? Are you good with it? Are you not so good with it? What are some ways that you kind of manipulate your time? Because time is a big one. Time is our second pillar. And the great equalizer amongst all of us is that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yes, me, you, Beyonce, the president, everyone. Everyone has the same 24 hours. So those people that you're like, how the hell are they doing all that in a day? Like, what is it that they know that I don't know? And it's nothing other than learning to manage their time effectively. So we all have those same 24 hours in a day. And thank you, Josh, for posting that. First pillar, self-respect. Second pillar, time. You're the man. Thanks. So anyway, we all have these 24 hours. So if I say, okay, part of self-respect is sleeping for 7 to 8 hours a night. So let's say you're sleeping for 8 hours. So you have 16 hours left in your day. And let's also say you work for 8 hours of the day. So you're left with 8 hours, right? I'll even give you an hour of commute time. You are left with 7 hours in your day. And I want to know, what is it you're doing with those 7 hours that what is it you're doing that you either can't find the time to focus on those self-respect aspects in that pillar, but I just really want you to figure out, what is it you're doing with that time? Are you scrolling Facebook? Are you wasting it? Are you saying yes to things you really don't want to do? Are you spending it with people you really don't feel like spending time with? Are you watching Netflix? What is it you're doing with this time? This time that you watching Facebook Lives, but this is valuable. You're learning from this. I actually can't watch when people are like, oh, this Netflix series. I'm like, I can't even, because I'll be addicted and I'll want to watch it. So really all I watch on TV is like reruns of The Office or like Friends or Parks and Rec, because I don't really care if I watch the next one. But yeah, so what are you doing with that time? So just audit yourself, figure it out, and learn what it is that you're doing with that time and how you can navigate it better. Can you take 30 minutes out of that 7 hours or that 6 hours, whatever it is you have, to work out? Can you take some of that time to meal prep or do some of these goals that you have set out for yourself? And so you want to maximize your little nuggets of time, your commute time. Maybe you're walking your dog. You want to maximize your time. Maybe you can make a phone call during those times. Maybe you can listen to an audiobook. Can you utilize commercial breaks to do some push-ups and get some physical exercise in? So you just want to maximize your time, do what you can with it, and so figure out what's going on with that time management. And another thing that I use here is, I'll have to share this, and I'll share this in the Facebook group, the Busy to Balance group. This is something called the Big Rocks, and the Big Rocks is essentially, it's a video, it's a YouTube video, and it demonstrates, you have this glass jar, for example, and you have these big rocks, which are the big things in your life that you want to accomplish and take care of, like your family and your health. And so you have these big rocks, and then you also have pebbles, like smaller pebbles. So these are things that are important, but not as important as the big rock. So it might be something like your job or your home. Those things are very important, but it's not family, it's not friends, it's not your health. So you have these pebbles. And then you have sand. And the sand is all the small stuff that doesn't matter. It's the Facebook scrolling, the Netflix, the smaller things that don't really matter to you. If you get to it, great. But if you don't, then you're not that worried about. So if you can envision this glass jar, and you have these big rocks, these pebbles, and the sand. And let's say you fill your jar up with the sand and with all those small things that don't matter. You're waking up, you're checking your phone immediately, you're doing things that aren't really serving you. So you're just focused on all the small stuff here. And so your glass jar fills, and then you're like, you fill your time with the pebbles, the things that are important, like your job, and paying the bill, taking care of all those things that are very important, but it's not spending quality time with family. It's not focusing on you and your health and spending quality time with friends. And those are the big rocks. So the big rocks then try to fit in, but don't necessarily have a lot of room because you focus on all the small things and the other things that didn't matter so much. So the big rocks get left out. But if you do it vice versa, and you focus on the big rocks and nurture those things, and then you fill in the cracks with the pebbles, and then in between the pebbles and the rocks, you fill it in with the sand, and then it all ends up fitting. So it's a great visual as to represent these different aspects and these things going on in our lives. And I will share that video in my Facebook group. If you're not already in it, hop on in and you can see that video. It's a great video. It's like about 8 minutes long. So yeah. And then the third pillar is organization. And organization is everything from having an organized mind to keeping an organized living room and everything in between. So having organization is key. It clears your mind. It creates space in your head. It just allows you to show up a little bit better. Like it just shows you to show up more powerfully in this world. So, organizing can be organizing your food for the week so that you can know what you're having for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It can be organizing your clothes for the week so that you're not waking up and scrambling trying to figure out what you are going to wear, your kids are going to wear. You kind of already have that stuff figured out. And so, you know what you're going to do that day instead of forgetting things and missing appointments and missing this and missing that. So you're organized. So organization is key. And part of this is also setting goals. So you're going to want to set goals. You want to set big goals. You want to set annual goals, maybe 3-year goals. You want to set monthly goals. You want to set weekly goals. And then you want to set daily goals. You want to have these goals in place so that you know what you're striving for in life. If you're like, I just want to get healthier and live a healthier life and be fit, like those are good goals, but I emphasize finding a why behind each goal and then getting clear with a goal. So what is your goal? When do you want to meet your goal? Is it a sustainable goal? Is it a measurable goal? Is it realistic? So setting those goals and being strategic about achieving them is really going to be key as well. Thanks, Josh. First pillar, self-respect. Second pillar, time. And third pillar, organization. Yes, thank you. And finding ways to make yourself organized is kind of up to you. Like whatever kind of, are you a visual person? Do you need things up on the wall? Do you like things on your phone? Do you like having the calendar on your phone? So I would love to hear from you. What are some ways that you keep yourself organized? And for me, I have things on my walls. I'm very much a visual person. I use my calendar on my phone, and I also am in the process of really using, instead of having so many like post-it notes and things all around, I'm in the process of using apps like Trello and Asana so that I can keep my thoughts and ideas focused and organized so it can be strategic and streamlined. Those are really awesome apps. They're things you can download right to your phone, and they make your life 100 times easier. Josh, you said your organization needs improvement. Well, all of us, we all definitely need improvement. Trello is great. Yeah, Trello is awesome. Do you use it for work or personal? And what areas of your organization do you feel like you need improved? Like, what do you want organized better? Is it, like, my clothes for the longest time were annoying the crap out of me. And I just went through everything. I got rid of what no longer was serving me. I kept around what I did like. And then I was able to see everything that I had instead of having like things in 2 or 3 different closets. I see everything that I have. I see the shoes that I have. I see the shirts. I can see what outfits can go together. And now, since I got rid of what no longer was serving me, I created the space for what is serving me and create things for what I really want and like. Josh, you said your immediate environment, your apartment, your desk at work. Yeah, and again, this is like breaking bad habits and establishing good habits. So it can be a challenge at times, but it takes about 21 days on average to break a bad habit and establish a good habit. So if you head into your office for 21 days straight and try to organize your office, organize your thoughts, just go through it, and without the momentum building, if you just do a little bit every day, it can be a lot easier than, trying to manage a mountain of work on your desk after a week or a month. So just do a little bit every day and establish that good habit. So I just talked a little bit about organization and goal setting, and in my Facebook group, I ask everyone what their goals are for the week and for themselves to create SMART goals, and then I help hold you accountable. So it starts with you, and you're welcome. So it starts with you, and it's a decision, and you'll rarely hear me talk about anything and share anything that doesn't start with your why behind it, because you can have a goal to do many different things, organizing your desk or getting into the gym and working out. But what I encourage you to always do is establish your why behind it. So what is your reason why behind organizing your desk? Is it so that you can have a clearer mind, so that you can start your day on the right foot, so that you can feel good about yourself, so that your day just runs a little bit smoother? So having your goal is great, but then having your why behind it will really carry you on those days when you're like, I don't want to clean my desk today. I don't care if it's dirty. Having that in your head will help you through those tough days. So setting that reminder, maybe of a desk that you admire on your phone, setting it as a screensaver, or something that triggers that thought, or maybe it's someone who does it. So without being too weird and having a picture of a random person on your phone or a random desk, you know what I mean? Like, put something somewhere, have a vision board, and put these images somewhere that will remind you and that will carry you through and, break you out of those bad habits and help you establish good habits. So if my environment is less cluttered, my mind is less cluttered, which is exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's exactly why I say, try to keep yourself organized and all of these things. So I understand that all of these things are not easy to do all at once. It doesn't have to be hard. Your mentality will dictate whether it's going to be hard or difficult, and it's all up to you and your decision and what you think about it. So doing a little bit by little bit, start with the food, start with the exercise, start with the, setting the goals, creating the why, managing your time, auditing what you're doing with your time. Start somewhere and then grow from there. And, you guys have me in your back pocket. As always, I always offer consult calls. You can have access to me through my website. You can, schedule a call with me at ohowhealthy.com. You can download my cookbook. You can, so I'm in your back pocket. You can hop on into my Facebook group, the Busy to Balance group for women. And, there's ways to get in contact with me. I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm here to show you the path from where you are to where you want to be and fill in that space in between, because it's kind of hard to see what would benefit us from the inside. Like inside we're like, there's so much going on, but with a helping hand and with a different perspective of someone outside looking in, it helps, and it helps take you from where you want to be to where you want to go. And I hold your hand the whole way. So if that's interesting to you, you can always hop on over to my website and schedule a call with me, or hop on over in the Facebook group, and I'll see you over there. And then as a reminder, the cookbook is for sale soon, so soon. It's going to be a hardcover copy. It's going to be a binded book. It's going to be available on Amazon, and you'll be able to hold it, and it'll be so much fun. So I hope that this was beneficial for you. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. I hope that you enjoyed hearing what my 3 pillars were. I would love to hear from you what your main takeaway was, what you took out of this, what your favorite part was, what you want to learn more about. And I will be talking to everyone so soon. So have a great day, guys. Bye.